Hello everyone, my name is Boudicca. Pleased to make your acquaintance. I am from Olympia. I would like to give a big thank you to Make.Shift for having us here. And also a huge thank you to HeartSpark Press for publishing my and many other K-Map trans women's works, and for all the work they do for all of my sisters and non-binary, gender fluid, genderqueer kindred. So, I have a couple poems here I would like to read for you. This one is called My Old Love, a Prayer on a Dark Eve. I used to listen for the wind, feel his cold fingers on my hand, through my hair, roots to tip. I would open the sky in my car, and we'd ride together, laughing at how careless it could be. He promised me that after death, he would take me away to the peak of Rainier, to dance in the snowy ball, worship the great clouds and storms. We would usher through slotted windows and trespass through stacks of paper, laughing at the ruffled chaos in our wake, until one afternoon, he came into my shower. I heard the door slam and his foot pads up to the curtain. It's over. And then only absence. It's fucked when even the sensation in your head and heart can leave you. No answers, no explanation, just sudden loss. Now, when the wind is teasing the neighbor's chimes or rustles leaves from branch to sodden earth, I turn away. I do not know whether it is him or not, but I cannot hang on hope. He wanted me to go away with him. I see that now. He could not stand the constraints. His emblems used to reverberate on my skin, and now they make me sick to touch. Our child smiles in my stomach. What will they think when they know that their father left because I could not give him what he wanted? Death will find me in time. She always keeps her schedule. She will not lose her daughter despite distance and space, but when my time comes, whether through disease, malice, or self-decision, I will not go to dance in the dawn-lit nimbus. Rather, I will be the Damocles blade that hangs over the seat of New Rome. I will burn the liturgies of intolerance. I will strangle the soldiers of the Kyriarch, all who have harmed my children, my kindred, my ancestors. They will pay their blood debts and stain my palms with their crimson cowardice. With my namesake, we will return to that singular mission, the dispossession of all tyrants, the liberation of rats. From the pyres of their defeat, I will warm a new generation. From the master's corpses will flower a new world, fertilized with their bitter memory. So hear me well, centurions of the new American Reich. Would that you will only be so foolish as to think that what you take from us and weakens us, know that for every stab into our breast, every shell that obliterates our refuge, every soul you transform to ice, know that it feeds us. Know that this bile at the thought of you will drown you, that our frailty is kept solely in our bodies, and that our spirit will never cease until we have returned every kindness you have sown, in kind and threefold. This, my prayer on this delusious night, as the tobacco turns to mud in my gritted teeth, and my claws seep into iron-fisted skin. So shall it be. In the name of the scapegoat I pray. Amen. Thank you. A little bit about me. I am an Olympian trans radical witch, and I also struggle with mental illness. I wanted to just mention that because as a mentally ill trans woman, it is very common that when people talk about trans identities and gender identities, mental illness gets brought up, and I don't really have that argument to say, well, I'm not mentally ill, because I am. But what I've learned to do instead is to embrace it, because whether the reality is something that you can see or something that only I see, hear, and touch, It is just as real. So are all of you. I have a poem to read to you about an experience I had. Recently, I almost became a statistic. For all trans people, especially those who also suffer from mental illness, suicide is a very close thing. So there is a trigger warning here. If you can't tell by my other work here, I think and talk about death a lot. I've learned to become kind of comfortable with it. All that is dark is not evil. But this is an experience that I had with another person there, and I'm very honored to be able to read it to you tonight. It's called Wanting. In the dream, you held my hand, Olympia lost behind slopes of ferns and mossed tree corpses, the expansive gullies gravel and mud grinding under odd steps, brook babbles melodizing stammered words, your dark irises bid a verdant gravity inexorable. Plummeting into them, I asked, will you be mine? Yes, in 2.5 minutes. And with this puzzling answer, I awoke. How fervent the need to be held again. In a desert of touch, an onslaught of confrontation and trauma long denied, your solemn hug that day was an oasis, a salvation. And now the electric messages hold me not. What is this desire that cannot be quenched? This hunger insatiable? Watching your lips wrap around the cigar upon your brother's porch, bathed in faded viridescence and birdsong, sparked an ache that blotted all my senses. Would that I was the smoke that you inhaled. You had chopped off the purple hair, strands that slipped through fingers. I am buried in the sandy shore, and I'm covered by your granules, but still not of you. As much as I may grasp, I can hold on to none. Yet every time fingers run through my curls, they find your traces of particulate, evident memories stuck beneath my nails. I can see those scars, and I would kiss them as medallions, emblems of heroism in your inner war. If my arms could reveal the innumerable teeth that have sunk inside them, hidden under buttoned sleeves, would you be as in admiration? Would it prove my worth of your attentions? Would you take a turn to bite these eager forearms? Do you notice that each of your short stories has your protagonist drinking coffee? Would that your murky ichor could burn my lips and tongue. Too thirsty to wait a moment, gladly would I swallow it whole. I feel the distance you keep from me. I could run for days and never get nearer. Instead, I shall sit and miss you, waiting for a sign that I know can never come. I met you in orbit, a station for those world-wearied, expulsion from a chaotic surface to a calm void, where our eagerness for death was a shared secret, a truth that bound us together. Where I had wanted to cease, your eyebrow raises encouraged me to continue. For being starved of life, you fed so fully, and I had no choice but to live another day, and another. Dreams flee with my hopes. There is no garden for us to discover. No trails will make us cross. Indeed, I am left alone again. I could gorge upon every apple on the earth and never find something so tart, crisp, and satisfying as your acknowledgement of me, a knowledge that I can never appreciate, no matter how many Edens I would burn in my wake. Would that I could sleep till I decease, ere that I could return to that trail, stack water smooth stones, show you the hidden spirits in the knotted bark, and kiss you on sun-dried bridges, be held one more time. Would it that that dream be my last, for were I to die in that slumber, the phantasm would prove eternal, and we would stay in that fictitious moment until the universe grows as cold as the pit of my stomach.